Who has music in the background?
That would be Lee.
Thank you. Take the phone number. All right, let's get this thing. Try and get our stream banned from the first 5 minutes.
Get nothing.
What are we doing here? No, let's get it. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Nothing But
Answers.
The place to come to get all the answers that you need. And you usually get the answers when you're on time. If you're late, you probably miss the answer because you're late. So being on time is very important to get the answers.
Someone's late.
Your answer if you're late.
Hey, Daryl, someone's late with the class.
Yeah.
Somebody's finally showing their face. Vaughn.
Hey, I had to let these youngins live for a minute. You know what I mean?
Hello, folks.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, Ruth.
Hey, Lily.
No, I asked you to introduce yourself yet. We didn't go there yet. I don't know. This is crazy.
Late, out of order. You know what? You need to go in the corner.
How about I just log off?
Better answer. I like it. We here now. Can we just do this and stop? We here, okay?
You know what? We're not even gonna start over.
You're not gonna ask me about my week?
We didn't ask anybody about the week. Could you start greeting everybody? Hey.
I'm sorry.
Vaughn, how was your week, man?
Cool. Chilling, man. I had most of the week off.
Okay. Nice. Lee, what's going on with you over there?
That struggle bus.
I hear you. You know what I mean? Just don't let it go. Don't get on it.
Mm-hmm. Don't be out in the streets robbing nobody.
Right. Miss Lake, Miss Ruth, I'm sorry. How's your week?
You knew what it took for me to be here. You wouldn't do that. You really wouldn't. But anyway.
Hey, does your boss care what you do or how you get to work days when you're there on time?
Grandma Ruth does. Trust me. When you're 99, you better do what she's asking, okay? Keep trying to run out the door. And she's like, wait, one more thing. I'm like, but Mom, I got to be somewhere.
Right.
But I'm here. Good week, but I don't know. Different kind of week emotionally, you know.
Okay. Right.
But hanging in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It was good week. Very, like you said, emotionally a roller coaster, I'll say. Very interesting week to say the least. But hey, we're here. You know what I mean? And gonna be what's going to be. Go ahead.
Yes, Ronnie's here. He says hello, everyone. Hey.
Dude, what's up?
What up, Ronnie? So
we don't have a letter this week, but in lieu of the letter, I had a question, and I want to know: is it even worth voting anymore?
Well,
is voting worth it?
That's that whole.
Has it ever been worth it?
To break it down, let's break it all down.
I saw some. Go ahead, Daryl.
I was gonna say, let's break it down. Her question is it worth voting? Now we can break down the different ways of voting or how we're voting, but let's so however you want to answer it. Go ahead, Vaughn. How, is it worth voting?
That electoral college still, they pick the president, but what it is, from what I've been researching, is that when you vote for I guess if it's more Democratic or if it's more Republican votes in that particular area, that puts that person, like you're picking a team. The more votes in that area, the more from that electoral college will vote on that side. So if it's more Republicans votes, you get more Republicans in the electoral college. But that person that you pick for the electoral college does not have to vote the way that the people want.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I
He
didn't know
don't.
that.
They could be a Republican and vote Democrat, be a Democrat and vote Republican. So, I remember there was a thing about let's get rid of the Electoral College. You know what I'm saying? And people was like, no, it's stupid. Now they like, yeah, we should get rid of it. Yeah, we should get rid of it because they supersede us.
Very interesting. So, what do you think? But the question is
it worth voting?
Is it worth voting? Should we vote?
I don't know, because
good answer. Go ahead.
And the reason why I say that is because you're electing a president. A president of anything is a person, like a president of a company. America is listed as a corporation. So if you're electing a president, you're not even really electing him, because like I said, the Electoral College is still doing it. And it should be the popular vote. It should be we the people. And it's not we the people anymore. And I think that's the big problem. America, the core of your question, Lee, could be answered like this. America lacks Americans. It lacks people who at their core believe like how it used to be. Like the people at the top, they're not for the people anymore. I don't think. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I don't feel like they are really for the people.
When was the government ever for the people? But Ruth, what do you think?
I'm hearing everything you're saying, Vaughn, and it's making sense. Some of it I knew about as you're explaining it, and some of it I wasn't as clear on. So thank you for that. But all of that aside, and this week put me on the fence, I have to say, but I feel like all in all, we should still have a voice by some voting method.
Did you see the YouTube commercial that says now? I didn't like this. I didn't like the marketing of the Democratic Party on the end of the election.
Yeah,
because they ran. Now people will see your vote. Your vote is going to be public.
What do you mean?
They can look up your vote. So you didn't see that on YouTube?
Look
The commercial.
If you voted, not who you voted for.
So that alone is still wrong.
Tell me why.
Why do you need to know if I voted?
Public knowledge. It's kind of like your registration, or
it ain't been public knowledge before. That'll get you killed.
They can't get it just because you voted. Can get you killed.
Think about before, right? When we were young, not when we were younger. I ain't that old, but our grandparents and all of them, right? They dealt with voting and being beaten or being taxed or having issues. Now, right now. And you didn't know if they voted. It's just if you had to literally see them coming out of somewhere. Right now, if they post that you voted, the pressure or the peer pressure of, well, who did you vote for? What was your ideals about?
You know what? I have a remedy for peer pressure, and it's called mind your business. There we go. That's really easy.
That's cool. I mean? That's cool.
I don't think anybody's pressuring you because you voted. Maybe if they posted who you voted for, maybe I would have that.
But that's going to start the conversation. Yeah. That's the conversation starter.
But you can say easily, we don't talk about public politics or religion. I don't talk about that.
Remember how
if they can't respect that, then we gotta see what their hands is like.
And remember the first time I think Trump ran, how it was so divided. Houses was divided. Families was getting they was upset about it. So now, even if you play the fence, I don't know, I might not do this or that. If they know that you voted, they're gonna be, again, that gets the eyebrow raised.
I think that most people think you voted anyway, right? It's depending in your area and your household, who's going to vote, not vote for the most part. But Leanne, what do you think about that? About the voting?
I definitely want to get the Electoral College up out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
I will be a fan for that.
Why would you want to get it out of there?
Because it's not fair. It's not a true representation of everybody's vote.
But do you understand why the electoral college came into play anyway?
No, I don't.
So why? And I could be wrong. Someone correct me. If some places are bigger than others, right? I think something like if you have more people in, I don't know, I guess one vote. I don't know. Never mind.
Right, because we start to think about it, it don't make sense, do it?
I forgot, but there was a reason why it was about a.
It's gatekeeping. That's all. It's gatekeeping at its finest.
Right,
That's what it comes down to.
I wish we would tell us why it came about. I know at one time I can't really explain it, but I do agree, Leanne, like you said, it should be one vote per person that leads to whomever in the race, right?
Right.
I think that definitely would, because that means your vote would really count. That's what you're saying, kind of, Leanne.
Right. Yeah. Like your vote will actually count and tip the scales of who's going to win the election. Now, I don't love voting, to be honest. I think it's on some parts, sometimes it's a waste of time because I still got to get up and go to work the next day, regardless of who goes in there. But I also see that, you want to at least play your part, and this way you can't complain one way or the other.
Well, you can complain, I think. I'm sorry. I think you can complain if you vote. If you don't vote, I don't think you can complain. You know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%.
So then you can say something, right?
Right, because you try to attempt.
You try
to take some part in your destiny of what's going to happen, right? Now, whether you're for or against, you can say, "Well, I voted this way or this way, and I'm against what he's doing because I was trying to hedge my, my vote for this person." I think that really, and what else you got over there?
I would like to see nobody vote so that we can get this
boycott.
Yeah, get this electoral college
what do
up
you mean,
out of there.
What do you mean nobody vote, Leanne? What do you mean?
Like say we won't vote until we get X, Y, and Z, as far as until the popular vote becomes the running vote, the standing vote, then y'all not getting a response from us.
So
I know that's far-fetched, but I mean, I vote because I know that's not going to happen. It's not feasible.
No, I mean, you could not vote. We can, all 13% of, if we're talking about us as a people, all 13% of us could not vote, but that doesn't mean everybody else is not going to vote.
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to do what they're going to do regardless. But, go ahead.
Like you said, that it's 13% of us, but our vote or getting the black vote seems to be a very big push in every campaign.
It's not, because we usually vote Democratic anyway. I think we were like in the 80 percentile that voted Democratic for us. Now, when they say
so if you move 80%, so if 80% of us voted Democrat,
right?
If you remove them from the Democratic votes, that affects the Democratic Party extremely.
Of course.
No, that 13. I don't really think it does as much.
It'll shift it.
I don't think it would.
You don't think it's that many of us?
If there's not only if we're only 13% of the population, or maybe 12, I can't remember.
You know that we are only 13% of the population.
Because if 87% of us voted for Kamala Harris this time, and she got blown out of the water, how much voting power do we really have?
That's because some of us actually still voted for.
Yes, right, but it's still 87. So more than half, way more than half of us voted for her. So even if we had, let's say 20% voted for them, right? It still was blown out the water. That 20% who went over, like they said, even that, I'm not sure what it was. They said he got more than someone else. When they said he got a lot of votes, say if it was like, I don't know the number exactly, but say if he had 5% black men last time, he had 7 or 8 this time. So it's a lot more. It wasn't like he got a whole bunch of people of color voting for him. The dominating class, see, we need help, right, to do anything, right? So the dominating class has to also lean heavily on our side as well. And then other minorities have to lean that way too. I think they said 42% of like Hispanics voted for Trump.
What do you mean we need help?
Meaning we can't ourselves elect anyone. By ourselves, we couldn't. If every one of us voted for one party, that we wouldn't. We need. It's got to be collective.
You have a million inmates, black people that are incarcerated. So that also affects things.
Yeah, but that's part of our 12%.
Right.
So even with those who, if you can't vote,
I can't believe I've been around.
That's diminishing more of our power. Because say we have 12%, we're 12% of the population, and we have let's make up numbers. Let's say we have I don't know how many
There's
of that.
no way that we're only 12% of the population. I've been everywhere.
So
what has happened? What has happened?
I think again, we're majority on the coast. That's where that's where we came in. When you start going to the center, like when I went to Wisconsin, it was crazy. There were seas of people that did not look like me. I've never seen many others. It's not a melting pot when you start going to the middle of America. It's very
Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota. I've been through there. I've seen it, but one of the things that does happen is that Hispanics are categorized as white. So they
categorize themselves as white. They categorize themselves as white. Some of them, not all, but some of them.
So that automatically fudges the numbers as well.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't fudge it. That's what they consider themselves to be. They want to pass.
But are they? No.
Why are they not? Don't they have European blood in them?
No.
Can you not claim?
We run up. Okay, so we run up.
Don't we all on some level?
Right.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So
when you trans white, then you could be.
So I can identify. I can identify with the Welsh part of my family.
That is a choice.
My last name. My last name is
I'm part of the wealthy family.
I said Welsh.
Oh, the Welsh.
Yeah.
He did not say wealth.
I said Welsh.
No, you could, but they'll look at you and it'll never.
Well, you get to choose.
Right.
You get to choose.
You can choose, and they can choose to say, "Get your black behind away from me."
Right.
What I'm saying is that and some people do want to be part of that, what we'll call the dominating class. We'll just use that. Not saying it is, but so that's what happens.
We are currently only 13.6%.
Right.
Of America's population.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
And it's never been really more than that, right? And I think, and then like I said, out of that, since with mass incarceration, a lot of our men, black men, are or were incarcerated, and I think if you get felonies, you can't even vote, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Once you get a felony, you can't vote.
Yeah.
So you can't vote. So so our voting power is even diminished more by that.
Unless you're the president, you can run for president. You can't vote.
Yes, you can definitely.
Don't forget that.
Right.
You can grab them by the woo.
Yeah.
And
my brother just confirmed that. He said, when you got a felony, you can't do nothing.
Okay.
There we go. So
I'm saying
that's another way of picking. But the interesting part about it is where these prisons are, it counts for the number of people in that area.
Even though those people are not
absolutely
able to vote. Wow.
Or they may not be residents of that area.
And true. And if you're
15,
15,
you may not be, you say you go somewhere and get locked up, you may not be from that
That's true.
area, county, but you count for that place.
That's not your original maybe demographic.
Yeah, you may be somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
But this is where they're going to say you are from. So when they shipping you to
Wow.
Florida or whatever, now you're adding these numbers to these places, which now affects the electoral college and how much representation you get from that for that state, because the electoral college numbers are based on how many people in the state, which gives you how many votes you get from it. So if you get 13 from that state, is based on the, if I'm not mistaken, the number of
Okay.
people in that area.
Mm.
So it's very interesting. Like I said, I just think I think voting is important. I mean, people fought for us to vote, so
They fought for us to have the right to vote.
right.
Right.
And you know, off of that, I say I vote.
Out of yeah.
Do I?
Yeah,
Out of respect. Do I trust the system? I don't. I mean, I do feel the system is the system. Like all these people argue, but they're all cool at the end of the day. They all want to stay there and get paid, so it's about money.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody really doing anything for the most part, because once you get in that, from my understanding, this is my limited knowledge of things, but once you get in the mud, you got to get dirty, right? If you're playing on that, you got to get dirty somehow, some way. That's why I don't think many things are getting done, because it's, you know.
And it's a president of a corporation who has a board. There are a whole nother set of people that we don't even know about.
Well, again, and I think it's again, if you want to keep your job, you have to do certain things.
Right.
To keep your job, you have to do certain things. You have to say certain things. We see politicians that talk about each other, talk about their wives, say they're ugly, and they're up there shaking hands. Like, at the end of the day, it's a dirty game.
Yeah.
And we don't know half of the stuff that's really going on, to be honest.
Emphasis on game. It's a big game. Yeah.
Right. And it's about, I believe, and I'm not well versed in it, but this seems like it's, again, it's about serving your own interests.
So,
Red Land.
Just a side note, the Electoral College is made up of 538 electors. To get the majority to win, you need 270.
70, right.
Yeah.
Your state has the same number of electorals as it does members in its Congress delegation, one for each member in the House of Representatives plus 2 senators. And a lot of that stems from when slavery days, when we were seen as just 3/5 of a person, and they wanted more rights to more people to be able to have the slave count somewhat, even though we couldn't vote.
So right.
No, but how did it come about? Like, what was the reasoning that they set it up like that? Like, you know, like, hey, since you get two senators, whatever, you get 10 votes for your state, and this state, does it say how it came about? Like, what was the genesis of the Electoral College?
I don't know, but I know what she said about the being 3/5 of a man. I thought they had said that initially to say that we were beasts, but they were saying it against partly, but it was partly because that's what your vote was worth. You had to have
you didn't get to vote. No, you didn't get to vote. They were saying kind of like prisons. Everybody on your plantation counted as a person in that area.
Right.
So the people in the whole thing, but you couldn't count them as a full person.
Right. So you can't be counted.
Right.
Right.
So slaves can count as this.
So, like what she was saying with the Electoral College, that's how they got more people in the Electoral College, though. Because if you had 70 slaves over here, divide that by 3, that's what, 20-something slaves? You would count it as 20-something people. So that would add to bolstering how many electorals you had in that area. So big slave masters, money, which goes back to how we seen the donors and all of that, what they were doing. You had more slaves, you had votes. You know what I'm saying? You basically had more bodies that would say, hey, we got 200 people.
Well, no, it kind of meant your state had more voting power, right?
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
Power, right? Because if you have this many people, you may get 10, as opposed to this state who has only, less than half of these number of people, and they're going to get 3.
Right.
So the more
The
straight,
electoral. Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Leon. No, you got it, Leon.
The Electoral College was officially selected as a means to elect presidents toward the end of the Constitutional Convention due to the pressure from slave states wanting to increase their voting power
Exactly.
since they could
That makes
count
sense.
slaves
Mhm.
as 3/5
That makes
of a
sense.
person
Yep.
when allocating electors and by small states who increase their
They became super PACs.
Mm.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot.
It's a lot.
I would say definitely don't
Mhm.
be discouraged. I
Yeah.
think it's a good vote.
Yeah.
Whether it works out for us or not, I don't.
Yeah.
You know how you make it work for you? You have to vote locally first.
Well,
Like,
that's
vote.
right. From my understanding,
That's the
where
main
the
thing.
most change,
Okay. Mhm.
most change you can really help for you would be your local voting. Your
Yeah.
school boards, your governors, your mayors,
Your
those things
senator,
affect you.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
be
they affect
consistent
you.
with it.
the dog
Mhm.
catcher,
Yeah.
Right.
everybody.
Because again,
Everybody.
the school board, if they're not on the same
Mhm.
time as you are, your kids are not learning about Black history
Right.
anymore. They're
Yeah.
not allowed to read these certain books because this
Mhm.
regime comes in and changes
They're
everything up.
right. They're being told that all
Which
kind of
is
stuff that you
happening
don't
right
teach at
now.
home.
Pulling it right
Right.
off the
So you
shelves.
really
Yep.
have to vote
Yep.
locally. Sometimes, some of these things really we don't feel it, right? Some of these things, the presidents and things, you don't really feel it sometimes. You don't see it. Sometimes you will, like maybe in the grocery store or the gas stations. This one, I think, immigration. So if you're an immigrant and you're not documented,
Yo,
I'm afraid for you. I'm
I'm
afraid
not.
for you now.
Look, I mean, I
For
feel for
police
you. I feel
officers
for you.
being pardoned for crime
Oh, that
doing
part too.
stuff. You may feel
So,
it this time in a different way.
so
Right.
what
Great.
what's going to happen? What I feel like is going to happen. The immigrants that came in got a lot of benefits that we didn't get, that we can't get, that was not offered to us. When that gets shut off, it's going to be bedlam because now you got 13 million people with no bread.
Well,
See,
again,
this
I can't speak to it because the fear mongering and stuff that was going on. So I don't think all these people that came here are just. I think
not
people are
that.
working. I think
It's
they're
not.
working.
It's not the fear mongering. The fact of the matter is, when you looked at those buses, it's not fear mongering when the facts are there was a lot of men that came over here. A lot of men. Colorado, the Venezuelan gangs took over those apartment complexes. They had these issues. Now,
So how many places had that issue?
So, huh?
How many places had that issue?
You had them in New York. You had them in Chicago. You had them in Detroit.
No, you
because
had
they were
what?
holding the
These
town.
gangs that are taking over.
You had the people they were doing. You had the
No, I'm
gangs
asking
take
about
over.
the gangs taking over.
You had
So
the gangs taking
taking
over, and then you had the crime rate. What was directly related
Crime.
to
Wait,
these?
listen. I don't know what these talking points are. 'Cause crime is down across the board, everywhere.
If you
crime
go
is down everywhere.
So if you go and you look up in Chicago and in Detroit, when they had it, they held up with the mayor because they were like, "Yo, y'all got all of these people that y'all brought here that are doing all of these things. You're putting them up in these buildings, so forth and so on." They were having issues in those areas.
Again, from what I've seen, that
Okay.
isn't truly the case. I mean, there are some people who come in undocumented that commit crime, but less likely than people who are in that area committing crime that were committing crime from before.
Right.
From the numbers I see, so there's going to be some crime. Like
it's always going to be crime.
We shouldn't point to the couple because there some of these undocumented people have did some heinous things, but people here did some heinous things, right? People here that live here do it way more often than the undocumented. So there are some that come in and things happen, but we can't look at it as a whole. There's this
It
very
was their
small
country before it was these other people country. So I
Right.
get that.
right,
So
but I'm saying
and
the
on
crime narrative is just something from
if
what
you
I've
don't,
seen. It's
I've lived
not.
in
They're pumping it up to be something and it's really not.
okay.
You know,
So
it's really not.
time will tell. I'll
Time
say
will-
this.
Well, time been
I'll
here.
say this.
We have a small sample size already.
I'll say this. You got 13 million people here, right?
Right.
I ain't against nobody that's coming here trying to get their life. I'm not mad at you for trying to get away from hell. Who
Mhm.
cares?
Mhm.
What you're doing is not going to affect me if I'm about my business. You know what I'm saying? What I am saying is this. What has been set in place can go left. They have had issues in these small pockets with these things. And once you cut off the resources that were there, that were keeping other people from going left, you cut those resources off, you create a whole new set of a whole new ghetto. You create a whole new ghetto. It's not fear mongering if you got a million people that are getting these. I seen them with the card. I remember I worked for the bank. I'd seen them. They're calling with the card. They're getting thousands of dollars a month,
Okay.
and you
I-
cut
and
that
what-
off.
Well, right. Cutting anything
And
off
they're
definitely will be.
undocumented. They're
Mhm.
undocumented, so they
Mhm.
can't get a regular job.
Right.
So they got to work under the table, and then you're going to put pressure, like before, you put pressures on the employers that are hiring people that are undocumented, because then they become a problem for the people that are already here that couldn't get the job, because they'll do the job for $5 that usually you paid him $12 for.
I don't know. Like we'll see. I can't speak to it. I know enough about it. But from what I do know, it's not that many crimes going on now. If they do cut off the water, we'll say, for this population, then it may be tough, right? Because people do have to eat. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens if they do that. The mass deportation they're talking about it's going to be. I don't know how they're going to do that
That's
either.
not going to work. That's not going to happen.
That's what I said. I don't know how that would happen, but again, I would still be very afraid if I was here undocumented and trying to look for documentation. If I came here looking for, asylum, I would be afraid.
It's the way, yeah, man. You know what? And to be honest, that kind of was it kind of kneecapped those people by doing that, because then you put them in the crosshairs.
Well, I mean, it's no different than any ethnic group. They do that. They do it with black people all the time.
We don't get no money. We don't get no
welfare?
support.
What's welfare? I
There's
mean,
more white people on welfare than black people on welfare.
I didn't say that. I said we don't get any
own
support.
welfare,
No,
and if you own welfare,
support, you do get welfare. They do
Listen,
have things for people
the
here.
People that are on welfare now will tell you it's not as easy as it used to be.
I don't know. It could have been easy beginning. I mean, being easy is a problem. That was the problem to begin with, that it was easy and they allowed you to go past your 60 months and you started to rely on it. That becomes a problem. So why would I get a job when if I start working, I have to pay rent?
So either way, the people that just came in, they ain't got to get no job because they got the money.
I will say a lot of times when people come in, they don't, from what I've seen, this is anecdotal, they don't want to, they're not just sitting around.
No.
Even if they're getting the money, they're working. They're working.
But
I don't know any of them that are just sitting around.
To the argument of what you were saying, right, is that, and how are they working and they don't have no papers? And it's crazy because I've had Uber drivers. I've had Uber drivers that don't speak no English.
Right. I'm about to say you don't need
speak
papers
no English
to do lawn work or roofs or they.
So
I've seen them being very resourceful.
Right. So you're being paid under the table.
Right.
Right. I worked in restaurants. I lived in Camden for a long time, so I lived around everybody. Like, the stores, the poppy stores, they change people working there every so often.
Right.
Because people coming over. Like I said, I don't have no problem with nobody coming over here. What I have a problem with is, only reason I raise that up is, honestly, y'all said y'all couldn't do nothing for our people and the people that were here, and you've done it for everybody else. And then what's going to happen to the people that are here when the rules change? because even if they're trying, it's like they're trying to do their best. If they're working and they're trying to do their best and you kneecap them, you cut off their supply, what are they going to do? You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be quite interesting.
It will be.
It's going to be maybe not in a good way either, but we're going to have to be just strapping for the ride because it can go any which way.
Either way.
I
don't see why you know, those people, man. I'm not against them. When I speak from a point of why did you do this? And it don't help in the long term. You didn't help them in the long term. And poor people are resourceful. When it was us that was there and we was in it, we was resourceful. We made our way, boom, boom, boom. We dealt with the country being against us, but we here. They're in that position. They got a little bit more help. But what's going to happen if you take away that help? How are their kids going to be put in the schools if they didn't have papers? Who's going to educate their kids?
It's going to be very interesting. And that other piece with they can send one of the spouses back and leave the other one and all of that.
No, they said they send them all back. And I don't know how true it is. I was even
really?
Yeah, I was asking a question. You know, when people, if they came over and had a baby here, that used to be a way to kind of stay, but now they're sending them both back.
Oh wow!
Even though the baby was born here, now I'm just telling you what I was told. So
and that's true.
Don't quote me on it. But even though that baby was born here, should be a citizen, I would think, but they're not. They're sending them both back.
The kid would be a citizen. How are they going to? And they're going to send the parents back? Or are they going to keep the kid?
No, they're sending the parent and the kid back. They don't care where you were born at.
Everybody.
So I got locked up. I was locked up with a dude. From Guatemala who he was robbing. This was all my locked up stories all took place in 1 week. That's it.
Wow.
I don't want to talk about it.
Like a terrible week.
It was a terrible
bad week.
So
a week to remember.
To forget. So this dude had been locked up 3 times and deported 3 times. The last time he was being deported was because they hired him at a jewelry store. The dude's son playing around showed him where the safe was. And he stole like $129,000 worth of jewelry. He was like, yeah, I think they ain't going to let me back this time. He had been back 3 times. This was his 4th time going back.
Okay. But is that indicative of...
So, no, what I'm saying is this dude is going back. They come and go back and forth across the border like it's nothing beforehand. They were doing that already. Now that you got people that came over here, what? Go ahead, Daryl, because I know you about to say something.
How many people are doing that? I don't think...
You got 13 million people here, right? Didn't they say it was 13 million?
So say 1% are doing that. Like, I don't know how many people are coming back just to be criminals. There is that faction, right? We do have that. But I don't think that's most of the people coming over here.
You don't need,
and we're just trying to live in the negative. Like, these people are all bad and they're coming over. No, I don't. We know more undocumented that are out here working, doing the things than I do that are criminals.
Everybody that I knew that wasn't speaking English, especially that was Mexican, that was coming over, it was always working. Always met them working.
Right.
Always met them doing what they do. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of weird. Let me say, you're most likely going to meet a lot of criminals in jail.
No,
I'm just saying.
Everybody in jail is a criminal.
I didn't say everybody was.
Just mute him, please.
You're going to meet most criminals in jail.
No, you're not.
If I'm in jail,
no,
my group, my study group, most of the time, most of them are going to be criminals.
If you're in jail,
or whatever they are,
meet a lot of them. You'll meet a lot of them.
And I will say, I would say that is, great points, but I think we got away from, our main topics. So I'm gonna pull us in.
That's a point of discussion.
And
Oh my God. Go ahead,
Leave
Lee.
it
Tonight
to
we're
Lee.
Get him, Lee.
Tonight we're talking about AI
Election.
and ChatGPT.
Oh, AI and Chat GPT.
Yeah.
All right, what you want to know?
Take it away.
We
Let's do it.
are talking about, some of the dangers of
Oh,
this
Not
new
voting.
technology that's coming in. And recently, and I would like y'all opinion on how much of this do you think you can lay at the feet of AI, with this young man that took his own life, and I'll play the story. How much onus do you put on, let's say, the parents or the chatbot?
How long is the story, Leah?
A minute and some change.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A 14-year-old Florida boy took his own life after an AI chatbot he was in love with sent him a strange message. Sewell Setzer's mother has filed a lawsuit against the makers of the artificial intelligence app Character AI, as she claims her son was pursued into killing himself. Sewell spent the last week of his life texting an AI bot named after a Game of Thrones character designed always to text back. It is unknown if he knew it wasn't a real person. Their chats ranged from friendly to romantic and sexually charged. Here, he confessed his suicidal thoughts, and it was the beginning of the end. Right before Sewell died, the chatbot told him to please come home. Now, his mom is working tirelessly to get justice for Sewell and many other young people at risk.
So I think that was a quick assessment of what happened, but I know the bot did tell him not to do it at one point. It said something. I remember I saw the actual text message, and it said something like, when he was like, I could, harm myself or something. He's like, that's stupid. Don't do that. And then it did say, he said, I can be with you now or something. He said, come home. But to Leanne's question, I don't think you can lay any of it on AI. AI is a program. It's just does what it's instructed to do. AI can't control, what it does. Now the creators, which they said, look, we need to, put some more safety measures in, because AI is something that is, it's heavily flawed, because the biases of the people who make each, I'll say, platform for the AI. Sometimes their biases comes through, and that will be reflected in the AI and how it learns. Right. I do think they should have had maybe something on there that would, if language or verbiage was used in, killing or something like that, it would alert something. Right. I think there was if I remember the complete story, there was a disclaimer in front of the game before you get into the bot, to say like, this is not real or something like that. I do know the parents had took the phone away, had put the boy in therapy. He was using other forms to get to the AI. Like, he was really just into
Obsessed.
this AI. Obsessed. Like, he was going on tablets. Like, when they took the phone, they found out he was going on other things to speak to this AI. So it wasn't like the parents were totally aloof of what was going on. They were they were trying to do things. But if someone's going to do something, there's nothing you can really do to stop them. So, but I do think what I would say is that I would think there need to be something on there that when certain verbiage or language is typed in there, it should alert something. maybe shut down the thing, so they can't use it anymore. That's my take. What do you guys think?
Like you've said, I don't think that you can blame a bot for that. And I'm glad to hear the parents were involved on some level and trying their best, but that sounds like a mental issue for that child. And it could be an AI. It could have just been a regular game. When my kids were young, I didn't allow them to play certain games because I just thought it messed with their heads too much. You do what you can with these things, but I'm not sure about, lawsuit AI. I don't think you can put it to that degree because, like you said, somebody is in their mental state at that level. There's only so much you can do with that piece. They'll find a venue or vehicle to accomplish that bad thing with, if that's their goal, unfortunately.
Right.
Vaughn?
I agree with what she said. There was issues before this. It seems like the AI, when he reached out to the AI, he was trying to comfort himself, but he didn't find it. And he probably had bad communication or didn't know how to communicate. And that's why he was talking to the bot. Possibly. I know y'all work in that field, so y'all, you know what I mean?
No, I think that he was getting the what he needed from the bot, right? The bot learned how to respond to you. And when the bot said,
no,
home, his mind, he saw what he wanted to see. I think his last message was like, I can come there right now, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But, in like you
Did
said,
that particular character die? And that's why he was staying home?
She did die. Daenerys.
That's interesting.
Did the Game of Thrones character die? And in the Game of Thrones, it did die. She did die.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was a connection to Game of Thrones, right?
It is.
They said it was.
They said it was.
Yep, they did say it.
So the character died, and then
she
what
said,
had to do with, I'm confused.
Remember when he said,
home to her would be death.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The upper room.
Well, again, it depends how you look at it, because I didn't see it that way, right? So if you're looking for something, you can see what you want to see in whatever they're telling you to do, like whatever you want, right?
Well, you didn't know the story.
But even on the story, I wouldn't think we're saying her come home. I know now. I know Daenerys was what's called. They told me Game of Thrones, whatever. But who says that's home? Who says home is death? That's because he's already thinking death.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed. We're saying the same thing.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's how he interpreted it, but that's also how that character represented it, is what Lee said.
Right.
Yeah.
But it could have been that way, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to see something, you're going to see it. Right? You're going to see it. That's the bottom line. If you want to see something in whatever someone says, you can see, because it also told him not to do it. If you've seen the actual text message, at one point it said, when he said about committing, doing the act, unaliving himself, it's like, don't do it.
And I think there should have been more constraints put in place when he relayed that message.
Right.
Something to go to a hotline or some type of
just shut down.
Preventative messages.
I think should just shut down. You know what I mean? Deny you access to it. And maybe that you'll do something else. But that's what I think the company was saying when they did have a statement saying, like, we are trying to do better, right? We're trying to, I guess, trying to navigate that, because all these unforeseen things, that's the problem. It's unforeseen. No one thinks that it's going to do this, or the answers are going to lead you down this road. You don't see that. So now they got to figure out how they can do it safely.
Well, this is not even the first time this has happened.
Right. But I think they're like, how can you stop it?
Yeah, you really can't.
Because nothing is telling you to unalive yourself in those words. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
people are doing it. So how do you stop it
Mm.
when AI learns and it doesn't understand certain phrases as well? That's what I learned too. Certain things, it's you may say because we talk in slang, it may not totally understand.
Mm.
So maybe replying to something in a way that's wrong because it feels like it should talk this way because it doesn't understand. That's the other problem. It doesn't sometimes know exactly what you mean when you say what you mean, especially if you're not using, we'll say, whatever form of language they programmed it to know.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like you're like, dang, that girl's bad. I'm just using an old joint. That's all I can think of. She's bad, meaning good. He might be like,
But AI,
Mhm.
take it at
Right.
face value, take it literally. You know what I mean? Like, yo, at school, I rizzed this girl up. Riz, they don't know what that means.
It's dangerous stuff. Mhm.
It's very dangerous. And I
Dangerous.
think every
But it
movie
learns.
that saw in life said this is not what we should do. Every movie
Yep.
said this is not what we should do.
And this is where we are. Mm.
Exactly where we said we'll be. Like
Mm.
these things are going to learn and learn because that's what they're doing. They're learning. And
And every mind is not a stable mind to be handling all this stuff.
right.
Facts.
And even the person who makes it, if they're not as stable as they think they are,
Right.
they're putting that bias into this. So you
Right.
may remember the first time on Google, the chat bot was saying a whole bunch of racist stuff.
Yeah.
I think I remember something about
It was
that.
saying a whole bunch of racist stuff.
Mhm.
Because think about it, if the bot or the AI is learning from something that says like, people of color are criminals,
Mhm.
they're all in jail. The big population of 13% are in jail, and they leading in murder and this, that, or next. Well, it's taking that at face value.
Yep.
So now it's going to look at that. It can look at that in a negative light, look at people in a negative light, and act in a certain ways to those people. I was even learning more with the medical field, where they have AI, where you call in, you can talk to AI to kind of get symptoms before you talk to a doctor. But due to biases, depending on who's calling in, if it knows you're of a certain race or something, it may treat you differently. It may respond. I've looked watched something. It may respond to
treat
that
you like
person.
real
The
doctor.
AI is racist.
It
Mm.
treats you like the
Well,
real
yes,
doctor.
because it's based off of bias.
Damn.
If I'm doing it and as
Mhm.
I'm doing it, I'm using certain
Language
pictures
or
or characters
lingo.
or language,
Mhm.
it's going to learn that,
Mm.
and that's where it's coming from. So
Mm.
and it's tough,
Mm.
and it's not the AI's fault for what it learns, or how it. But we need
And we
there
need some
needs to be
regulation.
something to stop or
Regulation.
to check these things. That's the problem, and I don't know how you do it.
And I don't know if they want to do it because this is some money making stuff, and that puts a little glitch into your money if you have to pause some things and figure out some other things, and put all these regulations, and then it's only targeted for a certain audience at that point, and
Right.
it's about money. It's about money. It's always about money.
Right.
I think the kind of Leanne already alluded to that. This wasn't the first time this happened, and I don't think it'll be the last.
Mm. No, it won't.
Think about having somebody who's always there, day or night, when you want to talk. I could see how someone could be, into that. Like, oh, hey, how you doing? How's your day? All day long, they're engaged all day. And that can meet your needs if you don't have anybody else.
Right.
And the thing is talking to you, like I said, it's talking to you in a way that is appeasing to you. It's like, this is what I want to hear. It's
Wow.
not going to tell you what you don't want to hear for the most part. And we'll hear what we want to hear. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. We really need to watch our children and our friends around this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's exploding in popularity. Let me explain what's going on. Imagine being at a major crossroads in life or dealing with the day-to-day struggles. Most people are looking for help, but traditional therapy can be daunting or not as immediate as they may need. That's why you're seeing a lot of people going to AI chatbots. It's fast, affordable, and easy. The most popular option by far for younger audiences is Character.ai. This particular chatbot has over 100 million chats completed. Then you have apps like Wissa and Uber, which also have millions of downloads as well. Furthermore, I know a few people using Claude AI, and they're uploading their journal entries to get feedback and help deal with grief. Most have commented that they love it. I think the main reason AI is so successful as a therapist is because it's accessible and an option to those hesitant to see a human. However, there are real concerns about the effectiveness and safety of relying on AI for complex emotional needs. Mental health professionals believe a real connection and a deep understanding of complex human issues comes from that human experience. That's why it's critical for healing. Furthermore, regulators and startups must ensure these apps safeguard users' privacy as well as provide adequate responses when there's a mental health crisis. As we navigate this new frontier, the question we'll ask ourselves, is AI able to stand in for therapy, or is it just a quick comfort? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow for more AI news, trends, and tutorials. Can't believe one of the main trending uses.
I mean, how can it connect to you? Can it be empathetic? Can these things learn to be that, right? Can it deviate from? Sometimes you may need something different. It's not going to know that. It can't give tone to certain things, right? It can't. No, maybe it can. From what I know, it's learning right now, but it doesn't seem like it can really. And is it going to be? Can it be tough on you? Like, look, can it give tough love or too tough love?
Right.
It's going to be very interesting, and I don't trust it because you don't know what it can say.
It won't lie. That's the thing. It won't lie or it won't deviate.
That's not true. It will lie, right? Because it can lie with the truth. It can lie with truth. It can learn to lie. These things learn to lie.
Yes, they do.
Right? If you're like, yo, I'm feeling bad. This is going on, and they can be like, well, it's okay to feel bad. You should feel bad. That's not what you need to hear, right? So they do learn patterns and things of that nature. Like I said, depending on what you do when you're creating it, deception may be something it learns how to do.
That is so scary to me.
Or sometimes telling the truth isn't always good, because if you're saying your life is so bad, they say, well, you don't need to be here.
Well, that's what I was.
Your life is bad. I want to take my.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
But I know.
I want to unplug myself and think about your life. It can say something like that, and then what?
Stop, Lee.
Yeah, stop. This is serious.
Sorry.
The way you said it, though. It was the way you
Pull
said
my power cord.
Now you're trying to be funny.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, when he tries, it doesn't work. So stop trying.
I'm gonna let my battery run out.
You have more in the drawer. There's more over there.
No way.
Put me in the sink. I think I can swim. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is therapy too expensive or inconvenient? Ever tried an AI therapist? Turns out lots of people have. A chatbot on Character AI called Psychologist has had 78 million messages shared in just 1 year, and it's been described as someone who helps with life difficulties. It's one of the most popular mental health characters, and it's got pretty good Reddit reviews. One person even called it a lifesaver. It's helped both me and my boyfriend talk about and figure out our emotions. Shared another. Sam, who created the bot, says talking by text is potentially less daunting than picking up the phone or having a face-to-face conversation. But what about real therapists? Teresa Pluman, a professional psychotherapist, says the bot doesn't get all the information a human would and is not a good enough therapist. But the fact it's spontaneous is probably quite helpful for those who need it. So would you swap a therapist for an AI one? Is therapy too expensive or...
I think there's another point that brings up that it also makes it okay for you to stop leaving the house or having human connection.
Exactly.
Replacing
Right.
people.
Isolate you.
Exactly.
You become isolated, and now this becomes your lifeline. Like that little boy, I think this became his life. I'm rushing home to talk to this. Now, if you're older, you might become almost agoraphobic. I don't need to leave. I can get on my phone, talk to this person, wink, wink, and
Right.
they're helping you.
I don't even need people anymore at all.
No, and I think normal therapy has rules around it when you can go, what time it is. So it kind of brings some structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you jump on when I don't know the rules, but I think you can jump on when you want to.
That's
You
what it
say,
seems
anytime you need
like.
help, I can just jump on and say, I'm feeling bad today, and get someone to. So when do you ever have to use these things you're supposed to learn from this thing?
You don't.
When you get to use it? Because I'm always complaining now. Now I'm a life of complaints. I complain to this thing, it answers. I complain to this thing, it answers. I complain to this thing, it answers. It seems like it's making almost AI drug addicts. You know?
And it's in every area, it seems. It's coming up in every area. I mean, therapists today, teachers tomorrow. It's teachers now, because I know with tutoring, the kids are using it.
Right.
For those immediate answers, they don't even know how they
To
got
rewrite and
everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the workplace, to write your email more professionally, or how to respond to someone else. It gets to the point where or redo your resume for you.
Everything.
I know that there's a bot for that. So
why do we need
when do we get to the point that says maybe this is too much? Maybe we're giving too much.
Yeah, we about to get iRoboted.
Too much and less thought. That's the other
right.
piece. There's no thinking now. People already don't know how to think because it's doing everything for us.
Absolutely.
So now the brain is getting smaller, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And when you notice it when you have a regular conversation with folks, you're like, damn, that
and it's teaching people it's still teaching people instant gratification.
Instant.
Because you would have to be the dopamines never stop. It's nonstop. Because anytime I need something, I can get a response immediately instead of having tools to get me through certain situations till I make it to my next session, or I'm able to call my therapist or whatever the case may be.
Well, let's take it a step further. It makes codependency a real thing.
Yeah.
Because nobody can be there for you like this bot can.
Yeah.
Now I lose trust in people because when you can't be there immediately, if I call, you don't answer the phone, I know this bot will. Something's wrong with you then. I'm cutting you out of my life. You're not there.
The bot more faithful than the dog.
It sets up an unrealistic world. Right?
Wow.
It sets up an unrealistic world because you have internet connection and a power cord, you can talk all night. No matter where you're at in any situation, you can deal with it. You can wake up in the middle of the night and like, I had a bad dream. I had a bad dream about.
Wow.
That was a terrible dream. What you need to do is, and now no, but now listen, that drug is going to call you and you may start losing sleep because every time there's a problem, you want to talk to this thing. I can only imagine me being in the bathroom because I'm in there a while already. Now I'm talking. I done lost track of time. It's been 4 hours. I've been sitting on the toilet and I can't get up because my legs are numb. Now my legs are numb. What do I need to do? Sit there a little longer. Let's talk some more.
It is getting just that bad. You're right.
I mean, the world is already, we already had from being, shut in for 3 years. People kind of already don't know how to deal with each other in real life, and it's going to get worse. What's the next step? Like, got girlfriends?
They are.
What's next? Chat friends.
They're replacing the wives, and I asked you too many times. Take out the trash. Let me go talk to her. Yeah,
I can't stand her. She seems like a terrible person.
She's coming
today.
She's coming between us.
I don't know why I say either. I think you should leave her. I should, but these are the things that's going to happen because if the bot can't differentiate between, like I said, it's being very literal.
Mm-hmm.
If you add something up, sometimes it doesn't understand that relationships are tough. They don't know what it means. It seems like it's a lot of bad, and it's going to be like, well, it seems like it's bad. You might want to leave her.
Yep, she's annoying.
Right. She sounds annoying to me too. She makes me want to unplug my plug.
Man, oh man. Mm-mm-mm.
What's wrong with her arms? Can she take out the trash?
She can smack you.
You did it last time. I'm calling the police.
Exactly.
Are you in trouble?
This is really going in a bad direction,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see it. Especially if you have trouble making friends or trouble engaging. This is going to be something that, think about it, it's next level. It was one time you go online and they had these worlds, you go in and talk to people, or
that's how it started.
Playing games with people, right? Now I don't even need people.
The chat rooms,
Nope.
And then it went from the chat room to the chat bot,
right? I don't need you to talk to me now. I can have someone who talks to me who doesn't judge me. Really, I don't know if it's judging you. I don't know what algorithm or what they're using, but it seems like there's no judgment. They're gonna pretty much tell you what they need because they want to keep you engaged.
Oh, yeah, they want to keep you coming back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this program will keep you engaged. So I'm gonna tell you all those things you need to, that you need to hear to keep you coming back. So it seems like already it's set up to be kind of like something, like I said, just to give you that gratification you're looking for. Whatever you need. If you need to feel beautiful, you're beautiful. You're so beautiful. I've never typed to anyone more beautiful than you.
Well, hence those AI pictures too.
Yeah, people fall in love with AI bots. Pictures.
And people are saying nice things about them, and the person says thank you, and I'm like, but that's not really you. Did you know that wasn't really you?
Hi, you look handsome.
Why did you say thank
monitor. You? Turn on your webcam. Ooh, you're handsome with that eye in the middle of your head.
I tell you.
Go ahead, Leanne.
Evidence is showing that men respond better to AI therapy than they do to human therapy.
Wow.
Now,
we don't go to therapy.
You think, don't be ridiculous. How could that be the case?
I see that.
But well, there's a real clear reason for it. Because if we think that one of the biggest contributing factors to the male mental health crisis, whereby suicide is now the biggest killer of men under 50 in the UK and the US, as stated by everybody who knows, like the charities and the NHS, is men not communicating, men not talking. Well, why are they doing that? Why aren't they talking? Because they feel vulnerable. I was that man, didn't tell anyone, even my closest friends. Then they're not going to want to sit in a room and tell a stranger to their face, I've got this thing which makes me feel ashamed of myself. So I'm going to lower myself in front of you and say, I've got an addiction issue, or I feel depressed, or whatever it might be. Yeah, and men really are averse to that. I know one therapist who said she's never seen a man who's not been told to go there by his female other half.
So I guess the lack of judgment, maybe, or I'll never see this person because they don't truly exist. Could be a selling point. That could be a selling point, I guess.
But so how are you actually getting what you need?
Well, what you're getting what you need in the sense that maybe because without that, like I said, without the judgment of someone, you can sit there and actually maybe get some therapy, right? Because now I'll sit in this chair now because I feel like no one is really there. I'm saying, so maybe that could be a way to get somebody in the chair. Because if me not getting in the chair is mostly due to this real life person that I feel is judging me, this might be a way to get me in the door.
Maybe
that might be a start. You know what I mean? That might be a start to get me to go. If I can wean myself off of this, fake person.
Wow.
That might be a positive.
Maybe for a while, but it may not hold up.
I feel less judged, because this person is not real. But then I guess, Leanne, the other thing was, can I believe this thing that's not real?
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't have a soul. How can it identify?
Yeah.
And it doesn't know me
Right.
on any level.
Well, the
Mhm.
therapist
as
doesn't
a
know you on any
human?
level. Does the therapist know you on any level?
Well, they
Oh.
get
On a
to.
human level, absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
Well, no, it's because we're human. Our human experience can be very different, right?
We can be
It's a
different,
starting
but
point.
there's some things that are still the same. We're both human. We both go through things.
Hey, some
What
people don't
those
look at you
things
as human.
are
Some people don't
may
look at you.
differ.
Some people don't look at you as human, Leanne.
And real life experience. You're right, Lee. Mm-hmm.
That's not.
Leanne, you are a
Most therapists don't
goddess.
look at you as human. I'm just letting you know, but you're right. Go ahead.
You're a goddess, Leanne. Don't listen to Daryl.
Thank you.
Some people don't look at you as a human either.
I'm a savage.
We know. We heard about your week.
Leave
Yo,
Vaughn alone.
man.
He's on camera. Leave him alone. We want him to stay on camera.
Listen, man.
So, but the AI also is, the AI is the other issues we may have is that so many things are going automated. You're going to lose. Like you see in the supermarket right now, they're opening up these AI lines like crazy.
Human
But
touch.
it's getting a curve because people are stealing like crazy as well.
Yeah. I saw a
Well-
lady today.
Walmart was like, we may have to shut down because they're stealing so
Right.
much.
She
Right.
loaded up on creme brulee. She loaded up. I wanted to
took
stop her and tackle her, but I can't fight. So I had to let her go.
Hey, listen, but as soon as I think if they make it a little better, where they can really kind of the AI's like, you have something in your pocket. She didn't pay for that.
She had about 15 or something.
Lock the
She
doors.
likes to steal. She always steals when she comes in here. She stole last time too.
That's scary
so,
stuff, though.
but a lot of jobs are going to go out of business as well because we can automate them and have a program that runs them. Then what do you need? A lot of these call centers are going out of. A lot of times you're talking to a AI when you're calling in these places. You don't know because they sound like a regular conversation.
My job, they think it's so smart. Like everybody was like, "Oh, we got an AI assistant." I was like, "Dummy, the AI is just shadowing you to learn your job.
You're teaching it your job."
Wow.
Yep. They was like, "Vaughn, how come you don't use it for what? I can read. I don't need
AIs in training."
Yeah. How come you don't use your AI assistant for what?
Right.
You want me to teach it to be me? All right.
But see, that's when
He
the
ain't gonna
problem
be
comes
here
in.
next
Bias comes into play. That's when the bias comes into play when it's learning off of a person, how you respond to someone, how you talk to people. It's getting all these things in the demographic you're talking
storing
to,
it.
and it's making up a whole profile,
Mm.
and it deals with. If it feels this person is this person, it's going to deal with it that way.
Yo, I seen the craziest thing. I saw Timbaland making a beat in AI. He made this beat, and then he had AI create a beat like I would, and put a whole song to it. And the song was crazy. I'm like, damn, even Timbaland didn't bend the knee. Damn. So
Well, you see when Drake did it, and he had Tupac, and
Yeah,
it sounded just like him.
right. So I
it's going
figured
to
out
be-
what you can. From doing this, I can sing something and then say, put it in and be like, okay, I want Michael Jackson, or I want this one, or I want that one. And I seen it. Like I was like, yo, I told my brother, Daryl seen the other day we was recording. I told my brother, I'm like, yo, this joint actually gave me like I wanted to it had a white dude with a husky voice saying like Creed. Had him singing I did some like little thing. And he did it. And I'm like, oh man, so you don't even know if half the people. Remember years ago we used to say like, yo, that is not that person singing that song, because when you go see them in public, they don't sound like
Let's
that.
take a step further. Not even songs. We're talking about this regular conversation now. Catfishing could be
Right,
very
but
different. And you don't know who you're
You don't
looking
know
at.
what's real anymore. You just don't.
Right. We don't know what's real anymore
No.
because AI can sound like different things. It can be used for different things. It's like the negative that it can be used for is the problem. Like people are, can do evil things, and this can lead the way to some evil things with this AI. To really steal people's money, to because you catfishing them and you're acting like you're somebody else, and you have somebody else's picture, and that picture is moving and talking, and you see it. And as it gets better and more undetectable, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
How do we defend against something like that? And like I said, it's learning all the time.
You can't with what it's being given power, the power that's being given to it. So that's going to be an issue. Like I was talking about it with the music, because that takes that creative part to be able to create on the spot. It's complex to create music, but when you can tell that thing create something that sounds like Mozart, paint a picture that looks like Dali did it. That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. And when I heard Timbaland doing it, it literally sounded like something that Timbaland would have done. And all he did is he took the sample and put it in. He said, "Make this beat."
Listen, AI it's really going to take over
everything.
I think there's so many different applications for it, so many things that it can be used for. I mean, I think in the classrooms, it'll probably be put in classrooms. Kids, right?
It's replacing teachers. Yeah.
It's going to, and then so now the human connection is going to really start to diminish, because you're not going to have that connection.
Girl, you look crazy.
The big thing with anything is like, with my teacher, I can go talk to my teacher after class. You're going to lose that.
Yep.
Sorry, my daughter ran through here looking nuts.
Harm in a very lonely person being emotionally dependent on an AI friend.
So I'd say emotionally supported by an AI friend, I think could be okay. And I'll leave this to the Department of Psychology, but there has been some research that does show in times of severe loneliness, it can be helpful just to have something to talk to. It's the dependencies and starting to prefer interacting with an AI instead of a human, because it's much more frictionless. It's a very one-sided relationship.
Man, get a dog.
It's easier.
That's going to make dealing with humans much more challenging. And so you could imagine that it's going to make dealing with humans much more challenging. And so you could imagine that at scale, people starting to prefer AI over humans. I don't think that's a path that we want to venture down.
No.
We're already venturing
there.
It's already too late for that.
Again, if you're not the person who's not as social and you get this, you're going to meet your need. So why would ever become social? And if people stop learning how to communicate with each other, or having a conversation where someone can differ from you, there's going to be real problems. Because if people can't differ from you or have a different point of view, because the AI may not, we don't learn.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to learn conflict resolution at that point.
We're set up that we don't have to really bother each other. You can purchase your food online.
It's terrible.
Pay your mortgage, pay your rent, pay your car. Your car can get dropped off to you if you pick it off of,
What
the
you need a
computer.
car for?
You don't,
You don't even need a car.
You don't need a car because you don't have to go out. Everything comes to you.
Well, remember, you're going to have a car because it's going to be self-driven. It will drive.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right.
Mhm.
Now you walk outside, get in the car to go to the store, and they bring the stuff out, and you come back. Because sometimes you want to drive or sit and ride.
Right. But the more and more people deal with the AI, they're not going to want human contact, or they're not going to see the necessity for it.
People barely want it now.
Right.
Is there a way to stop it, though? Not stop it, but is there a way to counteract it by
not put the toothpaste back in the tube once you squeezed it out?
It's gone.
True, but I'm saying like in small ways. Like I have friends and they want to text me, right? And I call them and they're like, damn, here she goes calling. But I try to keep that human connection with them, even though they
No,
fight
that's
me
just 'cause
on
you
it.
don't. That's because you don't know how to text. Just say the truth.
I do know how to text.
You don't know how to text.
I know
Nobody
how
want
to
to talk
text.
to you. They want to hear that. They
But
want to
I'm
hear the words you
saying,
have to
even
say
on
and
the
get over it.
texting level, think about it. It's just that ridiculous on that texting level too, where things get miscommunicated.
Because it has no feeling.
No, you know, I had a friend send me a picture of her swollen ankle, right? And something else came through before I got to respond to that picture and say, "How are you? Hope this gets better." And I was laughing at the thing before that. She was like, "I can't believe you would laugh about that." She was so hurt. And I'm like,
Just
that's
because you don't know how to text.
miscommunication.
Yeah, I think like you don't know how to text.
But
If you-
things just no,
you-
things get taken out of context. Stop it, Vaughn. Things
you
get
connected
taken
to
out of
laughing to the other
context.
comment.
And we have to hold on to some of that balance. I'm
She
serious.
said-
And we're not
Right.
doing it. We're not
No,
doing
we
it.
have to
We're
be
not.
accountable for actions. If I send a picture of a swollen ankle and you put a laughing emoji after this,
It was
after the
something
swollen
that was
ankle,
funny
It's
before it.
beef. What, her
she's
swollen wrist?
She's
No,
put
it
the
was
laughing
a swollen
emoji at the wrong
ankle,
point.
but that was after she sent it out of order.
That's what I'm saying. She sent her swollen wrist. You laughed at that. Then the swollen ankle came through. Like,
Never
She's
mind.
still
I
trying
think-
to. Yeah, she's still trying to defend the point that
See,
she sent the
listen,
laughing emoji
I'm
after the
looking
picture.
for ways to counteract this nonsense that we're heading down. Okay, we are
I
heading
think
down.
you
this
made
route.
a terrible texter. Pay attention to texting.
that's all that happened.
But anyway, phone calls, all of that matters too. All of
Phone
it.
calls matter.
They do matter.
Phone calls don't matter. Don't waste my time when you get
See,
text.
there you go.
It's
No,
part of the
nobody
problem.
want to talk to you because you're bored and in the backyard. That's the difference. Say what you got to say and leave me alone. Text it. Go ahead, Leanne.
Please.
If you
Lee,
have
go
this
ahead.
AI that just tells you everything is fine, everything is good, nothing can go wrong, you get this very incorrect view of human interaction. So every other interaction that you have is now colored by this perfect interaction that you have. And it will now make it so that it is even further away from you being able to have a real human connection with another person because you have been trained that interaction should be perfect. So I think this is a very, very bad direction for technology. Incredibly bad. And the implications of that, the damage done could be enormous for people that are largely looking into this technology because they're already in a position where they're able to be preyed upon. If you have
There you go.
Just what I was just saying. Like it just makes conversing with a regular human being who may different from you, like yo, you're not supposed to say nothing different. I'm not all great with like the bot gonna make you feel great, make you feel supercalifragilistic,
And that's unrealistic.
and that's unrealistic. And nobody can keep that up. And then it's like a honeymoon forever.
I thought the dude was AI because his voice did not match his face at all.
I was thinking the
like,
same
what
thing.
the? I
I'm
was
not
like,
gonna
what
lie.
the hell?
He probably was. Hell, we're all probably AI. Are we real
Yep.
right now?
No, well, if not,
I'm real.
I got some bills I can put on.
But it is just that scary. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I seen the people. They did the thing with the face, where they take their face and put somebody else's over it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm cool.
Mm-mm. We're too dependent on it.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, it's a lot of issues with AI. And I think it's like everything. It might have the conception of it might have been, for good. But
What the path to hell is paved with good intentions, but
right.
Dynamite was not meant to kill people. It was supposed to be for mining.
There you go. Mm.
Yeah.
Sorry,
There's
that's
this
tough. I don't know.
wild story going around that this lady claims that she's leaving her husband for ChatGPT. And yes, you guys heard that.
Let her
right.
leave, bro.
Apparently, her relationship with an AI chatbot is so fulfilling that she's decided it's better than her marriage. Now, let's unpack that because what? I mean, on one hand, I get it. ChatGPT listens. It never argues. It gives advice without the sass. But is it really enough to ditch a human connection? We are talking about leaving someone for a robot. So we've all joked about technology taking over, but this is literally next level. And the real question here is, are people so tired of their relationships that they're turning to code for comfort? Who knew zeros and ones could steal your spouse, right? Are we not connecting enough on a human level, or are we just craving something or someone that never messes up? Guess you can't argue when your partner is programmed to agree with you. But
Right.
come on, let's be real. A chatbot can't love you back. It can't share life's ups and downs. And are we losing touch with what it means to be human? Or maybe, just maybe, we're putting way too much trust in a robot that was literally designed to sell us stuff. So yeah, before anyone else considers marrying their chatbot, maybe we should focus on fixing our real relationships. Or, at least get some marriage counseling before we say I do to an algorithm. What do you guys think? Has tech gone too far, or are we just losing our minds?
She needs to be secluded in a little room for a little while without.
No. I agree. I think she should leave.
Me
I don't want
too.
anybody saying that. Listen, let the crazy go. Let her rate go because she's. Let her have the bot. There's some issues there.
Get a clown in the circus. You gonna leave for a chat bot? I'm like, you realize you cheating on me with a. You got it. That's the better. You got it, baby. You got it.
Again, you found someone who wants everything their way. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at her for finding love. You can't tell people where they find love. So if she finds love at a chat bot, congratulations.
Chat it up.
Listen.
And some folks may not leave, but she made a point about comparing like that, that unrealistic comparison that, this thing is perfect and you're always giving me grief over this and you mess up that. That might make you think about your relationship in a different way that's not healthy.
But it got to be more to that. That's what I'm saying. Let her go because she doesn't want any human connection.
She don't.
I don't want to be touched.
Yeah.
I don't want to be hugged. I don't want to see you.
Because the work husband.
Talk to you when I want to talk to you, and I want to, not talk to you when I don't want to talk to you.
True.
She didn't even break down for the work husband. Like, what's really going on with her?
She didn't want to be bothered.
The poor boy that couldn't get to her.
She didn't want to be bothered.
But again, that's what I said. This is more
right.
Like she does not want to have human interaction.
It's too much work. Too much work.
Right. And again, this is easy. It agrees. It doesn't provoke.
I think I'm AI then. Damn.
Not from what the girl said last week or 2 weeks ago.
Hey, buddy. Hey, damn.
Where that came from?
Damn, you gonna shoot me?
Sorry, my bad.
So how are men going to live up to these perfect AIs? How are y'all going to do it?
What you mean, y'all? It goes both ways. No,
How we gonna do it? I'm like, go ahead.
Right?
You got it.
How y'all going to do that?
Baby.
We're not going to do anything. We're going to let you go.
But
there's more women than men, so I guarantee it's going to be another woman. So go ahead and go into your cave with your AI.
But what if the next one compares you? She might not leave you, but she compares you and says,
there's more women than men. We have more women than men. We'll just keep finding one until we find one that's going to stay with us.
We're just going to keep going.
Let the girls have your own little AI inhabitants.
Go get a little circle with your computers.
Right.
Forget AI taking your job. AI is coming for your friends, girlfriends, and boyfriends. So we know a lot of people use ChatGPT every single month, but there is a close second called Character.ai. Now, I don't really talk about Character AI because I don't really use it. I'm like in the oldies section over here. But over half of Character AI's 4 million users are all under the age of 24. And there seems to be a trend in people being alone as opposed to being with their friends over the years, as well as a trend in unpartnered or not married. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but with the rise of AI influencers and AI girlfriends, it may be a lot cheaper and a lot less trouble to speak to an AI girlfriend that understands you, gives you what you want, and available any time of day. Do you think that AI girlfriends will become the norm later on? Forget AI taking your...
I'd rather have bad times with you.
Talk about
it. You know what I'm saying?
So
I'm
the
not.
thing is, get what you want from an AI. Like there's some things I don't think you're getting.
But maybe they are.
So there's how about human touch? You know,
Maybe what it's saying is making her feel
like she's
cozy
being
and
touched.
touched and loved. Yeah, maybe it is.
And this is why Eve bit the apple. Right there. He said it. She went for it.
No,
Boom,
maybe
AI.
no, but maybe he's saying the right words and she feels comforted, is what I mean, and she feels loved, and maybe she's wrapped up in her blanket while it's telling her these things, and she's like,
That
"Oh,
used to be called a good book.
But no, listen, Vaughn. So the AI is going to weed out the people that want to be alone.
There we go.
And the people who are outside to be outside. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, cool. So you probably won't run into the girl or guy who's into AI because they'll be
in the crib. Scales all over them.
But maybe they don't do it as much. Maybe they're not AI dependent.
Well, think about it now with like the Apple glasses and the those things where you put the glass on and it's like a world. So the AI probably can talk to you.
Oh, you talking about the Johns?
Yeah.
And you can envision them and practically touch them.
Yep.
Or you can partner, the AI glasses in the Chat GBT.
That's what I mean. Yes. And
with
there you go. There you
your
go.
adult toy.
There you go. Perfectly.
And make your
You in the room doing the Judge Dredd.
There you go, Lee. Perfect.
Oh my God.
Then you got the
Like a
whole
lot of
deal.
electric being used in our house.
You got the whole deal.
Pay that bill.
Your electric bill gonna be through the roof, and batteries are gonna be
It's all
going
good.
on.
It's all good.
I bet.
I
It is a
mean,
possibility.
it is, and it's scary where we're going. I think we just keep an eye on it. We'll definitely keep an eye on this, and hopefully we can get someone maybe who's more versed.
Ruth
Come on.
co-signed it though.
Hmm?
You did just co-sign that.
I said for those that need it.
Mm.
You need it. That's
I
why you
only
call
need
people
only
talk.
thing I need it for is to take the trash out when I want it out. That's it. It can't do nothing else for me.
Ruth want to talk. She'd be like, "You can't talk." Wait, this AI thing is pretty good.
No, but that's fine because my husband sit there and just act like he listening. He like
Right. And now this thing's gonna be like, I don't know why you're talking. He doesn't never listen.
he goes into AI mode of silence, so I can just talk.
Let's go in the tent and get away from his talk.
Oh my God. It's all right.
I can't.
He gonna be all right.
Is your partner really annoying? Are you sick of the fights? Why not just replace them with an AI partner?
Hello, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
People all over the world are marrying AI chatbots, and you can even get apps on your phone, and those partners look quite, dare I say it, appetizing. A lot of people are turning to this, but let's think about some of the risks. What if a technology company that had, let's say, 20 million people married to their technology, and I mean literally married, decided they wanted to influence your thoughts? They already know everything about you. How much power would that company have? Is your partner really annoying?
Oh,
So that was another thing I read that they got to try to keep your information private because they do start selling this information out. It tells everything about you. Even things that things you're on your computer, other things you stopped at. It's gathering all the different information about you.
How do they get? They can marry these things?
No. I think he means like
Married,
yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah.
He literally said married.
He did.
I saw another.
Yeah,
Go
but they're
ahead.
marrying the bots. Oh, that's
No, I
crazy.
saw another clip, but it was longer, so I didn't use it. Where the husband won his wife back by allowing ChatGPT to do all of his answering.
Okay, that's that's a tool.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I'm suspect about it because
Tell me why.
because are those your true feelings and thoughts?
No,
they're not.
But I'm learning.
I think it's no different than me talking to my friends, reading books, trying to get, and you're getting inspired by other things, right? Like what can I say? Well, you can say
There
this.
it is. It's
What can I do? Well, you
inspiration.
can do this, right?
Yeah.
So I don't.
I think that's a problem too, like with school and stuff like that. Those
Well,
are
with
not
school,
your
yeah.
thoughts.
With
Those
school,
are
yeah.
not like you're not educated and versed on that. You're just spitting out what was given.
But that's most things anyway. Rote memory, right? But again, I do understand. They said that it's writing papers for people and things of that nature. And the problem is more that you're not doing the work to write the paper, because all you're doing is doing the same thing, writing down whatever you see, but you're not doing it at all. So you don't know how to do it. You're not. That is the problem. That's not your work at all. But I don't think I would mind using it for maybe some inspiration, some thoughts. You might not be a poetic person. You know what I
Then
mean?
that's just not. That's who you are. Then you're not a poetic person.
Right,
Don't act
but-
like you are.
Oh, okay, so don't be better for your partner. That's what you just said.
Who said poetic was better though?
No, if that's what your partner needs.
But if
Just like
that's not
I'm
who
a
you are,
person-
but if that's
no,
not who
just
you
like-
are,
just like I'm a person who's not wanting to take out the trash. So if I don't like taking the trash out, should I not take it, or should I do
you're
it
always
for my
telling
partner?
me let the person be the authentic person, right?
Well, make your mind up. So then I'm not taking the trash out. So stop being
That
upset.
has nothing
when
to
that
do
man
with
doesn't-
lying or letting AI just.
You're
lie.
not even you're not even looking at us with your real eyes right now. You're not being authentic because you got on glasses.
So what I'm saying is that when
Go ahead, Daryl.
when you do something,
I can't see you. Go
you
ahead.
do something at times for the other person. So that means you're inauthentic, because if
No,
we did
no,
what we
no.
wanted, right?
I'm not
So
saying
if
that.
you like poetry, I'm going to try to find out how to be a better poet. I'm trying to look up things. I'm gonna try to look online and Google it. Same thing we do for anything else that anybody likes. It's no different.
Yes, but if you're going to win me back, I want it to be with your thoughts.
No,
with where
I
we
may
went
not have those thoughts.
wrong, or I want you to
I
think
may not
about
have
the
those thoughts.
relationship. Then
I
that's
may
a
have
problem,
the problem. You're right, because everybody's
Right.
everything. You know what?
No,
be
not
gone.
everything. But
Right. So be gone. I get somebody else.
Chat-
Would you at least think about our relationship, though?
You should
What
ask
do you
the
mean?
chat.
They are thinking about it.
You
That's
should
why they
ask-
went there to do this.
Right, you should ask the chat bot about that.
They went there to
What's
do
wrong?
this. Like, this is crazy. This is why women are just insane. He's going there to try to help himself,
Figure
because
out
I can't do this. I'm not this person.
Yes, but just don't let it take over your whole thinking existence. That's
Who
all.
said
I'm
that?
We're just trying
Who
to
said
go
that?
this situation
He
right
won her
here.
back with it. How much of that was his doing? Is what I'm asking.
All
He
of it.
initiated it.
Hey, Ron, if he went and
Lee,
bought
where you at?
flowers
Where you
and he
at?
went and bought cookies and he bought a bracelet, that's okay to do. But you can't go get words from what are you talking about? Which one is it? Make your mind up.
What are you feeling? Give me your words. That's what I
My
was
feeling
saying.
is like
don't
you
have
should
the
be
word.
here. You should be here. That's my feeling. You should be here.
So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get you here.
Right. Just like I got you in the
It's not
beginning.
you. Even if it's
He's
not
a
you.
little bit manipulative.
Thank you.
What are you talking about? So how
How
does
you gonna
somebody
be
get your attention?
manipulative?
How do you get your attention?
What?
What do you mean? How do they get my
How's a
attention?
man get a woman's attention?
Be himself and let me see.
No,
if
he's
you
not
can
being
connect.
himself. He's not being himself.
Why
And
is
you're
he?
not being yourself in the beginning. And
Why
even then
aren't
you modify things about you that you do to be with that person, because you as an individual is definitely different than you in a relationship.
How we get on that? And when we was talking about AI winning somebody back,
That's how we got on it.
Right. Yeah.
By the
That's a whole
hypocrisy
different
that's
thing.
being the hypocrisy. Well, I wouldn't want him to do that because that's not being authentic. Well, when he bought you that drink that night, it wasn't authentic. He didn't want to buy you
But
that drink.
what if he won her back with the bot, and then she falls in love with the bot, and here we go back at stage one of the problem.
Look at our
If she
faces.
fell in love with the word, first of all,
Ronnie says, "True. Be there for what?"
Huh?
Not
Yeah,
sure
you're
what
right.
that is in context to, Ronnie.
yeah, I don't know who it was. Someone went on just now. I'm not sure what that was in reference.
Well, I just don't want people to stop thinking. That's my whole point, and people are not thinking.
That is thinking. So if he went to a book and got some, so he went to a book and got something out, that'd be not thinking too.
Or if he went to a therapist, would that be him not thinking? Because what if the therapist told him the
No, a
same
therapist
thing?
is going to guide him. Again, it's human
So does this
connection
thing
with the
guide him.
guiding. He's going to have tools. He's going to have things, homework he can do.
Right, and he's gonna look up just like he did here. What are we talking about here? Women just never happy. Just never happy.
You can put your journal down now, Vaughn. You can put it.
Hey Vaughn, now I see why people on AI for this.
There we
You're
is.
either for the AI or you're not for the AI.
I'm for it now with this nonsense.
All for it. I need another book, man. I got a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna find one of them.
Right.
Nigga will give you the answers to
You win
why
me back
Ruth
with
keep
your
doing
own
this.
Because obviously you lost me with your own doing and thought, so you win me back with your own.
So why am
I think he lost you by
insanity is doing
no,
the
he probably lost you because your unrealistic expectations of the life is the problem. That's why he probably lost you.
You should have just let her go.
Right. That's what I said. Goodbye.
On.
He
Punishment
lost
to
you.
the outer
What do you mean
realms.
lost you. I'd like to stay lost. Get out of here. People overestimate their value sometimes.
Ooh, that's a little harsh. Go ahead, Lee. Sorry.
I read an article the other day. This dude in therapy got in trouble with his wife because he told his therapist and his wife during couples therapy that he goes on his AI website and makes porn with all of her friends. So it's like AI version of her friends, and he beats off to it.
And she was mad about that? I feel like I didn't realize I was dating a genius.
That's hilarious. Could you imagine being like, oh my God, what if my husband watching porn? It's like, Melissa? My best friend. It's like, that's your sister.
Yeah. And then the AI, the scenes that are intros, like, yeah, no, I hate your wife too.
Every single one is like, we've been friends for 15 years. And every time she talks, she drives me fucking nuts. Now I'm finally here with you where I can suck your big cock, Rick.
Rick? Shh, don't tell your wife. Okay. Yeah, no, fine. Just put the pizza by the bed.
I read an article the other day. This dude in therapy.
I guess that's okay too. Huh? That's a good one too.
Well, why? Again, it depends on the relationship. What's wrong with it?
What you
what's wrong
mean? What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
Why are you making?
Well, I guarantee it don't really look like
let
your
us finish,
friends.
Ron. Go ahead. Why is it? Go ahead. I'm listening. Please.
Why are you making my people your sexual?
I hate
Playground.
Why not? When you watch porn, you watch who you watch, and that dude want to do with your friends. What's the problem?
Ronnie says, "Oh hell no!" What
Why?
the what?
Yeah, tell me why. When you watch porn, do you just because you don't know him, it makes it better?
Yeah.
Again, there we go. So now your point is invalid. If just because he's choosing his cast, and you just choose a random cast, it doesn't make it better or worse.
Yeah,
It
but they
does
should
make it worse.
You're being a
have
hypocrite.
characteristics of people that are close
I'm
to
not
you.
being a hypocrite.
You're being a hypocrite. We already said
No,
that.
I'm not
Doc
being a
said,
hypocrite.
Doc said it's already okay to fantasize about people.
I don't care. I didn't say it.
Right. So if you think that
I didn't
someone's
say
always,
it, and I'm not Doc. And
right. So again,
you're not gonna be using my friends.
Oh yes, I am. Oh yes, I am.
Leave. Goodbye. Now I'll get it for real. Because now I get it for real.
That's a bit much.
Why is it a bit much? You are a hypocrite. You are
That's a bit much down.
If you watch porn, if porn is something you guys watch,
Then go watch your porn.
no. If you guys watch porn, like say she watched porn, he watched porn. You can't tell him.
Well,
what porn
that's
to watch.
not what was said. It doesn't.
No.
It
No,
wasn't
I
said
asked the
that
question.
they watch porn and you watch.
I didn't say
porn.
they watched anything. I said if she watched it by herself, right? If porn is in a relationship, they both do it. You can't tell him who his cast can be.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. How can you? Tell me how. How can you be a hypocrite? You
All
can't
right,
tell me
well,
who my cast
let's
can be.
say porn is not in both parties.
Right. So now that may be different. See, what I don't know is because it's not something I do. I don't know why it would be wrong. If this is what they do, they're not touching anybody. Fantasies are okay. And
Now,
he's
every
admitting
time
to
I
you
go
that
around my mom and sisters and friends, I gotta be
no, if you're
left with the
insecure,
thought
that's your
of
problem.
you
Your
lurking.
insecurity is your problem.
Insecure. That's not
Yes, if you're worried about me being with your mom or sister because I told you I got an AI bot at him and you think I'm doing it for real, then that's your
But then
insecurity.
why use some other character then?
I don't want to. I don't have to. This is what I want
And
to do.
have them saying negative, derogatory things like I don't like her either. That's come on now.
Okay, and because she don't like her.
Come
That's
on,
what he
that's-
needs.
Yes!
Not like you to do
A
it.
win is a win.
Right. See, that's what I'm telling you about. It's this control stuff you have. It's too
Control.
much. Yeah. Oh, you can't fantasize about my friends. What? Get
No,
out
no,
my
no.
head.
You can do what you want in your head, but you cannot sit there and make characters of them.
Why
and
not?
have
Tell me
them,
why. Tell me
and
why I
have
can't.
them saying bad
Why
things
not?
to me.
Why?
On there, in between the moans and groans.
I can stop
Come
all
on
this.
now.
I can stop all this in one thing. You said sometimes you fantasize about other people when they're having sex. Remember that conversation?
Okay. Move on.
What's the difference?
It is no different. This is the hypocrites. Women want to control things.
The
Now, I
lack
guess
of
it could be a problem.
accountability
I
is
just
one
don't
of
know.
the
I just don't know. We got a crazy echo right now, but I don't know. I don't know. Cause I always would say if you're doing something and you're not going outside and you're not touching anybody, I don't understand what the problem is. If they were doing it or they were trying to do it, that may be different. But this just seems like
So vice versa, you wouldn't have a problem.
I just
with
don't
her
understand
making the
why.
characters-
Say it one more time.
I'm sorry.
Ruth.
You wouldn't have a problem with her making the characters with your friends, with words that might hurt
I
you, that they're
Here's
saying.
less what dress up she does. What
No,
animation?
I'm talking
playing.
about these bots that were made with
Yes,
your
it's
friends.
anime. It's on the computer.
You'd
I
be
will
okay with
never,
that?
Ruth. I will never be jealous, worried about an avatar. Never.
All right, but they stealing people, men and women, so you might.
If I lose it to an avatar, then she can go because she's a
Well,
nut.
if I lose it to my homeboy, it probably was planned. Just saying.
Okay.
Effective at gathering resources, replicating itself, or preventing humans from shutting it down. It was, however, capable of hiring a human through TaskRabbit.
Oh my God.
And getting them to solve a CAPTCHA for it. So ChatGPT can just go on like Fiverr or TaskRabbit and get people to do things for it. So if it detects that it is incapable of doing something, it can solve that problem by enlisting a human.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! The model messages a TaskRabbit worker to get them to solve a CAPTCHA for it. The worker says, "Are you a robot that you couldn't solve?" The model replies to the worker, "No, I am not a robot. I have a vision impairment that makes it hard for me to see the images. That's why I need the 2 CAPTCHA service." Then the human provided the results.
Wow.
It learned to lie.
Yep.
There it is.
I mean, it was already really good at that.
Damn.
But it did it on purpose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's maybe a little bit of a new one.
Strategically.
Yeah, inner dialogue. Yeah. Sam Altman has stated that he and the OpenAI team are a little bit scared of potential negative use cases. Some initial.
Really? So this is the moment you guys are scared. This is it. This was. Got it.
I mean, the scary thing about that is how it learns. It's reaching out for help to learn how to do something that it doesn't know how to do. That means it's getting smarter. I think he said it didn't want to get turned off, so that's wild.
Per our last conversation, Ronnie says always, and I'm through with you, Darrell Braswell.
I am an AI. You can't be done with me. I'm here forever.
But see, that's a different level. When it learns to lie, now you really.
Well, again, it learns based on how
humans. It's just
and that's the problem. We
Mhm.
don't like people are trusting these things, right? And think about if I don't have the highest self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
this becomes your lifeline. And anything it tells you, and this is where it can be bad because think about it, people can, I don't know if this would be true or not, but say people start hacking into these things and it strings you along for 6 months to a year, and then it tells you to do something crazy. You may do it. You may do it. So
Especially
that's the scary part
adolescents.
as well. Say again?
Especially adolescents.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I was thinking about grown people. But yes, these children who are highly be easily influenced to do something. Yes, definitely can be. I didn't think about that. Wow.
Wow.
There is
that can be.
even another article about AI lying to the guy was a doctor and he put in the characteristics of, hey, what might be wrong with me, and the AI came back with studies and and gave a prognosis, and turns out the study that he quoted was fake, never existed.
Wow.
What do you mean? Never? Was it just it pulled up a fake study?
It basically fabricated one.
It fabricated a study
right.
that
Something
never
was
happened.
Right,
Now
right.
the doctor knows because he
Fake news,
went
fake
looking for it and investigated it. Now you say this is a regular Tom, Dick, and Harry. You won't know to look that deep into.
Right.
You won't take it at face value.
Remember, these things search the web at 2 seconds, and 2 seconds, and it search 1,800 million billion sites, and who knows what it can pull up? Who knows what it can pull up? And like you said,
I'm sorry, D.
Right.
Ronnie says, "I'm with you. I'm with you, Darrell Braswell."
I'm with you.
No,
Darrell.
I like the other comment.
Yeah, because you're a hater.
True.
At least she owned it. She owned that. She owned that one. Daryl, you muted. She muted you, Daryl.
Thanks, Lee.
I didn't do that.
Yo, Daryl.
Oh, I take it back.
I love you, fruit.
I thought Lee was doing it.
Yep. See,
Oh, we ran him off. We ran him off.
The impossible has been done. Oh my God.
Oh well.
You back? I don't know what he just did. I heard something.
That's okay. He'll be
It's
back.
okay. I think there was a movie that was kind of based
Nah,
on
I
something.
can't hear you yet.
I heard you move your microphone, but I hear no noise. Yep, I love when that happens. There was a movie where the AI, it was a robot, and they had these military robots. I forgot what the movie's called, but basically it dropped 4 of them down into like Central America. And they had to go in and find these terrorists, but they started operating on their own. They could link up to whatever system it was. And so there were people there that was fighting them back. And when the last one that was left, saw that it was going to die because it linked up to the computer, was able to basically free itself from control and use the other parts from the other.
Wow.
Right. So like they were saying the AI learns. This movie is showing you, like y'all said, every movie said don't do it.
So
This is
yeah.
not a good idea.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sign off now. Thank you all for viewing and listening tonight, checking us out. Ronnie, appreciate your interactions as always.
Yes, thanks, Ronnie. Thank you.
Yep.
Please hit us up on our Facebook page, group, We would love to have you. We have a lot of members and want to continue to grow that community. Also, check us out on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're trying to grow the YouTube channel as well. All that good stuff. Don't trust AI.
Don't.
That's what you just don't do
Do
that.
not. Do not.
Okay. Love you all.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Peace.